Hello and welcome back to the reading vlog. My phone will not stop going off. I thought I turned the sound off, but I didn't. Okay, it's family trying to plan a family get together. Okay. Today is gonna be a pretty chill day. I'm not doing anything today except for sitting around and reading. It's kind of the middle of the day, so I've already gotten my work is done. I've gotten all the things that I have to do today out of the way. So that's done. So I'm just gonna be hanging out and reading until Richie gets home, and then we are gonna be going to go look at a piece of property and running by the pet store to get a couple things that we're out of. We're almost out of cat food. And when the bowl gets like slightly low, because we just free feed our cats, so when the bowl gets slightly low, the cats freak out. Like they start losing their mind. Olive starts beating us up. So it's time to get cat food. That's how we know. Olive the cat beats us up. Anyways, so this weekend the reading vlog is going to be a little bit difficult because my part-time job that I have with a theater is starting back up. So I have to work Saturday night, and then Friday and Sunday I'm helping my friend who has a event business. She's got two events, or no, she's got one event going on this weekend, but something is happening for it on Friday and she needed some extra help. So I'm going to be helping her with that tomorrow and on Sunday. So my reading time for the weekend is extremely limited. So because it's so limited, I'm only going to try to do 2 books this weekend. I have an audiobook and I'm trying to get through an ARC. So update though on my reading. I finally finished Isle of the Gods. It took me 2 weeks to read that book. 2 weeks. And I think I liked it. Like, I think I liked it, but I'm kind of like not sure. I'm confused. I have conflicted feelings because on one hand, it took me 2 weeks to read it. And I had no motivation to read it. And getting through the last like 30%, was a struggle for me because I just wanted to quit. But I also was like, I wanted to finish it. I don't know. I think it's the start of a trilogy, at least a duology. I like the characters. I like the setting of the book. It felt pretty well written. It felt fully fleshed out, like I could picture the world. But here's what was really confusing to me. So most of the book takes place in and around boats. So like on docks, that kind of thing, on boats. The boat that the main character is sailing on gives off wooden ship vibes because it's talking about sails and like the crow's nest and that kind of thing. I know you can have a crow's nest on a boat that's like electric, like gas powered, right? But you know, she's talking about like trimming the sails, swabbing the deck, not swabbing the deck, but like there's, you know, like barrels of stuff. So it's the wooden boat, like the sails gives me wooden boat vibes, right? She talks about like wearing trousers and wearing like a paperboy cap. So I'm picturing sort of this like pre-industrial world, right? Well, the quote unquote bad guys, they have steamships. So again, it's sort of this like maybe like right on the cusp of being industrial, like pre-industrial world. Like they're not sailing on sailboats. They're using big steamships, right? Okay, so like I can kind of put both of those together, right? Like I can sort of understand how both of those could exist at the same time, because I'm sure there was a period of time where when we had invented like metal boats and steamships and that kind of thing, that there were still wooden boats, wooden ships with sails and things like that. So, you know, like I can sort of picture that in my mind. But what I can't picture, so like I have that's like the boat setting, right? There's like docks and there's like night markets and that kind of thing. And so everything felt in that sort of like pre-industrial vibe, right? Like the clothing that was described, etc. Until it got to a point where they were talking about being in a club, and then the club, I think, had a disco ball, and the dresses that one of the dresses that Sally, the main character, put on was like a 1920s like flapper style dress. I don't know, like that took me right out of it, and I don't know why. I don't know, like normally I can, you know, like, okay, fine, she's wearing a beaded dress, but there was just something about that. I was confused about the setting. Like the setting was confusing. So I don't know. I want to like it. I think I kind of do like it a little bit, but I don't know like if I'm gonna read the second book. I'm not buying a copy of it for like my trophy shelf yet. I gotta slow down on buying books. I am quickly running out of shelf space. So anyways, okay. So that's the update on Isle of the Gods. I finally finished Isle of the Gods. This weekend, I am going to read. So I've already started the audiobook. I started it last night while I was getting ready for bed. I'm gonna finish the Invisible Library series. So I'm gonna listen to The Untold Story by Genevieve Cogman. It's the last book in this series, and I am excited to finish a series, and I am also very sad because I am attached to these characters, and I've been reading this series this entire year. I started in January, and I've read about one book a month since I started it. I am excited to finish this, and I think I'll have plenty of time in the car and everything this weekend to be able to finish this audiobook. I am also almost done with Morning Glory Milking Farm. And it is nasty. Like it's a different breed of monster romance, because it's monster romance for the purpose of romance and the purpose of smut. It's not like other monster romances that I've read where it's like very sweet and it's like focusing on, so like, you know, the Kraken's Sacrifice that I just read, part of the focus was the main character has like this negative self-opinion of herself, and so she goes through this journey with this guy, the Kraken, who is helping her in some ways with that. So this is just monster smut. Glory Milking Farm. But I'm almost done with that. I would like to be done with it because my friend who I'm hanging out with this weekend has read it, and I want to be like, oh my God. But up until I had to turn it off, I was like, I need a break. I need a break from this. So I stopped it, and I haven't started listening to it again. Anyway, so I'm gonna finish The Untold Story. I'm gonna finish the Invisible Library series, and I have started reading. Hang on, I can't remember the name of it. I've started reading my arc of The Fractured Dark, and that comes out this month. At the end of the month. So I need to get some of it read so that I can give a good review, like a cohesive review, so that I can check that off of my NetGalley list. Those 3 sticky notes on my computer, those are NetGalley books that I need to read, and like when I have to have them read by. I have banned myself from looking at NetGalley for a while because I have like 15 books. I requested a bunch, I got approved for a bunch, and I need to get through them. Although a lot of them don't come out until next year. And one of them, I have to read the first book in the series first. Way to go me. Okay, so I'm reading The Fractured Dark. I'm already like 1.5 chapters in. I am enjoying it so far. I really like The Blighted Stars. And what I really liked about it was that it was a sci-fi. It felt very approachable. Like it didn't make me, like there are some sci-fis that can just really make you feel stupid. This was not that. It was like our future, like I can see these kinds of things happening. And then it was kind of creepy, and things were happening that I was not expecting. There was some loops. I was thrown for some loops. Like It was really good. And on top of it, there was a great romance. Like a great romance where it felt like real enemies to lovers. And then at the end, oh, they're not lovers anymore. And I'm hoping that I hope that they spend this book pining over each other again, because I love that. I love the tension. Anyways, so, and this book is kind of picking up right where we left off. Not exactly right where we left off, but it is very good. And it all feels like, I just feel like I'm back with these characters. Like, it doesn't feel like anything has changed, and I'm enjoying it. And I really like Megan E. O'Keefe's writing. So, Fractured Dark, The Untold Story. I'm hoping that I can get through both of these, but I won't have very much time to like sit down and physically read. So I'm going to try to read as much as I can today of The Fractured Dark. And then during the day on Saturday, I'm going to try to read as much as I can, because I have to work Saturday night. And normally when I work, I can read while we're not busy, because I'm doing box office stuff. So I'm just sitting at a desk waiting for people to come up and get tickets. So I can read some then, and I actually usually do get a lot of reading done when I have to work, but I am house managing this time. So I will have to be up and be busy the entire time. So yeah, that's what we're doing for the reading vlog. I have some filming that I'll have to do tomorrow like first thing in the morning. So I'll record that and I'll show that to you. I'm making Cubans for my other job, and yeah, that's it. This might be a shorter reading vlog just because I'm gonna be so busy this weekend. But yeah, that's what we're doing, and I will be back when I have something to update. Okay, so I don't have much to update book-wise, except for that I realized, I remembered that my hold on Libby for the first binding, for the audiobook for the first binding came up. So I'm gonna have to put a pause on The Untold Story and listen to the first binding, because it's 41 hours long, so it's a lot. But, okay, last weekend I found at Bookmarks, at McKay's, the Illumicrate edition of Winter's Orbit. I loved that book, and then I saw that Illumicrate was selling, the UK Illumicrate was selling Ocean's Echo, so that the editions matched. So I ordered it. I placed the order on Sunday. I got the shipping notification for it on Tuesday, I think. Monday afternoon or Tuesday. It just arrived. That was so fast. I didn't pay extra for extra shipping. So we are gonna open this. I'm gonna jab a pencil into this tape. Perfect. Please don't roll off my desk. Okay. Oh, I've never ordered anything from Illumicrate before. Look at that. It's pretty nicely packaged. This is some interesting paper. It's just the book. This must have been from like a previous edition or previous like box. And wow. Ocean's Echo. Now I have not read this one, but I have a matching set. So the signature is different. I can't tell, but I think this is a printed signature. And there's a good chance that the other one also had a printed signature, just because there's so many of these that it's like basically impossible for the author to have signed all of them. But wow, this is beautiful. The book is like in really great shape. It has like one little weird spot right here. But yeah, Illumicrate exclusive. It has one on the back. Oh, I'm so excited. Sorry, I got some book mail I had to show you. Wow. I can't wait to read this. Listen, it's more gays in space. It's more space opera. And the people who I have seen who have read this have said that they liked it better than the first one. And I don't know if that's possible for me, but yeah. So now I have two copies of this. So I have this copy, just the regular edition, and now I have this one. which the cover is the same. So it's not, the other one had a different cover, but that's okay. A flirtatious socialite, a dutiful soldier. An unwilling bond becomes an unexpected romance. I'm so here for that. Okay. All right, so I have this. It came in the mail. It's beautiful. I'll do a quick Google search and see if... I'm pretty sure this is a digital signature, which there has been some discourse on TikTok about digital signatures versus like actual signatures, and I don't really care. Like, it is more exciting to have a actual signature versus a digital signature, but I think like some of these books that get so popular, and like Illumicrate, there's so many subscribers, and then for me to not be an Illumicrate subscriber and still be able to get this and it has a signature, like it would be impossible for the author to have signed this many copies. Like, it would just be impossible. So I don't really care. It's signed, it's their signature, it's just printed. It's like they docu-signed it. It doesn't make it any less signature-y, you know? So I don't know. Got this in the mail. Very excited to have it. So it's Wednesday now, and here is the update on the books that I was reading this weekend. Well, I didn't actually get to finish anything until this morning and yesterday. I was able to finish The Wicked King, and I attempted to do this yesterday, but I apparently didn't hit the record button. Way to go me. So I finished The Wicked King yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. So up until about 70%, I was like, okay, this is fine. Like, it's a fine sequel. It was more political than the first, and I liked the development with Cardan and Jude. I liked all of that was going on. And then we got to the last 30% and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is like a different book. Things went very wrong for Jude. And, you know, it only seemed fair considering what she did to Cardan in the first book. So, I don't know. Anyway, so I was at like 70%. I was like, yeah, this is like a 4-star book. Like, it's fine. I will continue the series, but I didn't like it as much as I liked the first book. But after the last 30%, I was like, holy crap. It got way better. So it's definitely, I'm going to say like a 4.5 star. Still not quite as good as the first because it felt like the pacing wasn't as good as the first to me. It was still really good. I finished The Fractured Dark. Holy cow. The first book, The Blighted Stars, was phenomenal. I loved it. It was great. It was really creepy. It was sci-fi, but it didn't feel too sci-fi heavy. It felt political. I liked the characters. This one, we're with the same characters. It was so much more political. And after like the first 30% of the book, I just felt like the characters, they didn't catch a break. They didn't catch a break the entire time. And things were happening. People came back that shouldn't have come back. Like, it was bonkers. It was a wild ride. It was truly a space opera. It was very opera. And wow, my brain feels like mush. Like, it just felt like mush. This one was more heavy on the science, so it was a little bit more difficult because of that. but I still really enjoyed it because I enjoyed the characters. I didn't like it as much as I liked the first one because it was missing. The first one had like a real creepy element. I kind of wish that it had the creepy element again, but I understand why it didn't. It made sense why it didn't. Yeah, it was absolutely nutso. Our poor characters. Wow, they are just going through it. So anyway, so I got to mark that arc off, give it a review, and yeah. So hopefully this weekend I'll have more time to read. I've got to get through, so in the next reading vlog, I've got to get through some more ebooks. And I've mentioned a couple times in this vlog, I'm struggling to read the ebooks right now because it's just so hard to find time to like sit down and read. So anyway, so I gotta get through those. I have the Fractured Dark was my last arc for September. I have several in October that I have to get through, and the first one is coming up October 3rd. So I think that what I'm going to attempt to do is, and I have some audiobooks from the library that I'm working on. So I think I'm going to attempt to get through another arc and at least half of a library book, because the two that I have from the library are enormous. One is The Toll, the final book in the Scythe series by Neal Shusterman, and the other is The Hunger of the Gods, which is the second book in the Bloodsworn saga from John Gwynne, and those are both behemoths. They're like 600 plus pages, so it's gonna be a lot. And yeah, so that's it. That's the reading vlog. That's it. I will see you in the